47 degrees in Texas. I had to bust out the Sherpa. It's very cold. Hi, I'm Keyoka, the awkward black nomad. I'm a writer, I'm a dog mom, and I travel solo. Last year, my dogs and I went to 10 countries, and we did it by our damn selves. Go us. My channel is for black women out there who might be a little introverted, might be a little shy, might be a little awkward, but still want to see the world, and maybe if you have a pet, bring them with you, right? On my channel, I talk to a lot of black women who already live abroad or are traveling abroad. I have some great stories on my channel from people who I've met in person. Some I've met in person, some I haven't met in person, but they're friends in my head. I love them to pieces. I just want to remind everybody to like the video. It tells the algorithm that you enjoy the kind of content that I'm creating. And also my channel is growing, so give me a little bit of support, like the video. I ain't asking you for $5, just like my video. We have a bit of a new setup. I'm going to have to get another microphone because I think the ones I have are broken. And I did notice that sound is better when I am using a microphone, so I will be getting one. I hope the ring light isn't bothering you guys too much. I tried to get it out of my face so I can wear my glasses, but I think it looks okay. These are the struggles of a blind person. This is my life. So this year, to keep myself accountable, I'm doing something called Vlogmas, where I'm going to put out a new video every day for 25 days in the month of December. Kind of like a little Christmas present from me to you. Speaking of presents, December is a very special month for me. So first of all, I am a Christmaholic. I love Christmas, I love the cold, but also Bernie and Frank, child, the Sages in my life, their birthday is December 5th, and you know, we're transitioning into senior dog life, so gifts are welcome. Now, I know everybody is trying to get up out of here, at least on my side of the internet, right, before January 20th, but for a lot of people, that just kind of seems a little impractical, right? I've been asked a few times when I'm going to start traveling again, especially with the impending doom. And I've been playing around with dates for next year. But because of what I learned my first year nomading, I really want to give myself a year. So let's talk about it. So in the move abroad community, there's a lot of conversation about actually relocating permanently outside of the US. I think, so my age is going to come into play a little bit, right? So a lot of the people, especially in the Exodus Summit community, are retirement age, or I would say significantly a bit older than I am. I'm 31 this year and I'll be 32 next year. I know I'm not as young as I used to be, but it's still difficult for me. And I think part of that reason is I haven't found a place where I feel like I could live and not just nomad in. Part of that is because there's so many places I still want to see. So the idea of getting a permanent residency somewhere feels like, I'm being tied down to another country. A few things that I'm thinking about. There are a few countries where I would consider getting residency. So Mexico is on that list. It's very easy to transition into a permanent citizen in Mexico. And even getting a temporary residency visa is a fairly easy process, but I've never been to Mexico. So this bop is gonna be surrounded around finding countries that I may enjoy getting residency in, but actually like spending time in those countries and seeing if it could really be a place where I could live. I like the idea of having a backup plan, but for me to put all my chips in, I don't know gambling terms or sports terms, but put all my eggs in one basket, it's kind of hard for me to get over that, right? So basically what I'm going to do, instead of just going all in and choosing a residency in Mexico or in any other country, is I'm going to plan another nomadic bop or a scouting trip. And I want you guys to be a part of that process. So a lot of people ask me, well, how do you plan to nomad? How do you plan to travel long term? And in the month of December, that's exactly what we're gonna do together. So last year, I actually traveled with debt. I tried to pay it off as quickly as possible before my leave, but I ended up not being able to do that. And it really stressed me out the entire year that I was abroad. And since then, I've accumulated more debt. And I think it's just, for me, I don't know if this is true for everybody, but it's difficult to stay on top of your finances when your expenses aren't really stable because you're traveling around to different places. So even though I had a lower cost of living in the places that I went to, I didn't anticipate certain unexpected expenses. And so I ended up putting myself in more debt. And I really don't want to do that this year. I would rather pay my debt off before I set off, because I don't want to have that burden hanging over my head as I travel. So I have said this again before, I was job stacking. So I was working 2 fully remote jobs and traveling the world. Halfway through my journey, I lost one of those jobs. I got laid off, right? And so there was a significant change in my income. In 2025, I have a goal set to get more freelancing clients to be able to support myself abroad where I don't have to have a W-2 job. I don't want to be stuck out again, losing income while I'm abroad. I know that if I really do want to get residency or live in a country long term, I'm going to have to be able to support myself through independent income. Another thing is, I mentioned in another video that when I left, my oh shit fund was $5,000, right? And this was just money I had set aside in case of an emergency. So next time I bop around, I want to have a larger oh shit fund, because I had a lot of oh shit moments. I have a video, I'll put it up here, where I talk about my dogs and I getting rejected for a flight. And so of that situation, I had a very unexpected expense, right? I lost the cost of a plane ticket. I had to rent a car in Denmark and drive down into Germany. I had to set up hotels along the way. It was a lot, and not even including gas prices, and there's tolls. So like France, the tolls in France are crazy. That's unrelated, but on a separate, that's another thing though, that was another unexpected expense. So when I was driving through France to get to Spain, there's a lot of tolls. You know, a lot of people will rent a car in Paris and then drive down to the south of France, anticipate the cost of tolls. So in short, I want to stack money, right? I want to stack money to put myself in the best financial position as possible for when I go abroad again. I talked to Adelia from Picky Girl Travels the World. We have a video on her channel. And I said, I want to be retired, right? I'm tired of working so hard. I don't want to hustle no more. And to be honest, the chips are stacked against us. Ooh, that's a gambling analogy that worked. But for a lot of millennials out there, we're dealing with toxic work environments, we're overworked, we're stressed out, inflation, people can't pay their bills, and now y'all done put this man in office. Not getting political, but just saying, right? So I would like to have my money working for me. I don't want to have to keep working for my money, right? And I want to set myself up in the best position financially to be able to live a more comfortable life. Updated goal, I don't want to retire at 31 anymore, because that's not possible, but it might be possible at 40 or 45 if I hustle and have a plan in place to live in a country where my dollar will go far. So I definitely feel like if I was gonna stay somewhere long term, it would probably be in Europe. I really fell in love with Europe. And to be honest, you're just closer to things and it's easier to catch flights in Europe. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back, but maybe that's a trip for like 2027, 2028. For now, I do want to explore Mexico and Central and South America. So right now, you know, these countries are just in the sky. I haven't looked into the logistics of how I'm going to get to and from each place. I know Mexico is on the list so far. So is Costa Rica, Panama, Peru, maybe Guatemala, Colombia. I have to look into like the logistics of getting to those places and also how to get my dogs there. I have been toying with the idea of driving. So right now I'm in Texas. I have a car. My car is not paid off. So after this, I have to figure out what to do about that. For me, I don't think I'll drive. I'm saying this now, maybe I'll change my mind, but it just seems easier and more cost effective to just fly into different countries. I have to see how much that's gonna be with the dogs, but these are all things I'm gonna think about and plan in the month of December. I definitely want to pack lighter this time around. So something I learned while I was nomading is just, oh my God, I had too much luggage. I have too much luggage. Realistically, it's difficult to move around when you have this big carrier on your arm, and I'm weak. That's not, so listen, it gets hot in them airports. When you have a book bag, a purse, and a dog, it's hot. All that walking. And I have rollers on the cargo kennel thing, so I can roll one dog. Well, sometimes I'll put them both in the same thing and then roll to the gate and then check them in separately. But it's heavy. All that stuff is heavy. But again, it was my first time going abroad. I thought I needed everything that I had with me, and come to find out I didn't. I didn't need all those different clothes. And lastly, have a plan B. Have a plan B, have a plan C. There were several times where things did not work out as I planned, right? And so the first step is obviously gonna be to have your money together, but the second step would be have another plan in place. So if something happens unexpectedly, I want to plan out an alternative route so I don't get overwhelmed and stressed out or feel like we're stuck anywhere, because you're never stuck. Anyway, you guys like the video. And we have great things coming up on the channel. I am, like I said, holding myself accountable to 25 days of content. I'm very excited. I love planning trips, and I love bringing you guys in on my process. We're gonna go through a lot of the things I think about, and if you put any questions in the comment section, I will address them in videos. So definitely stay engaged. Click that notification button so you always get reminded when I put up new content. And I guess stay black. Peace out. Bye.